Hello, welcome to the newspaper review here on Top TV. My name is William Sabule. Yes, it's a very rainy Wednesday here in the city of Port Harcourt. Today is the 26th day in the month of October, and this is where we'll be bringing you headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. And to do that with me is this very fine gentleman here, Mr. Bright. You are welcome to the program. So nice to have you.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming. I've been looking for you.
I'm here now, Mr. Williams. I'm here now. Thank
Good to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, we want to welcome you to the program. If this is the first time you're seeing this video, do well to stay connected to us by subscribing to this channel. Click on the subscribe button, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notification, because that's how you get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. Don't forget, we're also on social media handles. We're on Facebook as Top TV, on Instagram it's Top TV_NG, and on Twitter it's Top TV. So connect with us on all of this platform, and also drop your comments and your reactions about these headlines we'll be reading to you shortly. We want to know what you think about these headlines, so join us as we do this analysis together. For today, we're going to begin our paper reading from the Daily Sun newspaper for today, the 26th day of October. So join me as we go through the very hot headlines on these papers. So on Daily Sun, we begin at the top there. It says, Kanu, why we transferred 21 justices, appeal court speaking. And you find that story on page 4 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Other headlines here on the Daily Sun, we see here, fuel scarcity spreads, transport fares soars, Lagos, Abuja paralyzes as Ipman blames deports. You find details of all of that story on page 2 of the Daily Sun. Other headlines here says, federal government deploys security alert by foreign embassies. Fortify your environs, Khan tells churches. Details you find on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. We also see here, Senate, federal government clash over multi-billion naira employment scheme. Details is on page 28 of the Daily Sun. And I'll take just one more headline, and that will be Tinubu Obi orders unveil agenda for women. Details on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. So do well to get a copy to get all the full gist for yourself. But while you do that, Mr. Bright, let me come to you. All right. Interesting headlines here coming out of the Daily Sun. So I'm just going to leave you to deal with the ones of interest for you.
Okay, so I'll just start. I'll start with the fuel scarcity one in Lagos and Abuja. Yeah. I think that they're the most heat right now. And I think from what the headline says, Ipman blames Depot for whatever is going on now.
Yeah.
My challenge is, why every time? Why? When are we going to have a lasting solution to our fuel crisis?
Yeah.
All right. If it's not subsidy, it's New Peng. If it's not New Peng, it's Ipman. If it's not Ipman, it's Depot. From one story to the other, or NNPC, or we could not get, oil, or Russia. Do you understand? The truth is, this has become something that happens daily.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to December. This will be resolved maybe like in 2 weeks. One shiny thing, they will say one shiny thing, and it will be resolved in 2 weeks. They'll have a meeting and all. But guess what? It will happen again.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So my challenge is not even about whether it's, my one is, how can we have a lasting solution? Because we'll still see it as a headline tomorrow.
Yeah.
How can we have a lasting solution to it? Do you understand?
That's become a norm.
Yes. What is the federal government doing about it? For a country that produces crude, for a country that produces oil, we should not have a problem with having scarcity. And that's the honest truth.
We actually sell our crude. We have so much that we sell it at.
So what happens? We sell it, they refine it, and bring it back for us to now say, how does that make any sense?
It's ridiculous.
Or we can refine our own crude here and do everything we need to do to have our own oil and be sustainable. We depend on. We can go on and on, but we know what we need to do.
I totally agree with you. Nigerians are going through a lot already. This is not the right time for this. With the current flood crisis or disaster that's already on ground, the federal government is already struggling to deal with that.
Okay.
Plus the fact that the inflation rate is so high.
Highest.
I mean, we should at least have a break. Nigerians are getting tired. I mean, this is like we have been pushed to the wall, where, there should be some kind of pushback. But Nigerians are holding on. Very small thread, they are holding on to it to survive. And then we have this crisis going on. We're heading to, the festivity period. I don't know if there will be a proper celebration this time in December for Christmas. That is for Christians that celebrate that. Because of the crisis. I don't know of other parts of the country, but here in the southeast that we are, we see that a lot of people are not smiling. If you're not affected by the flood, somewhere along your friends or your family members are affected. So we don't even know if these people will have a Christmas. Plus now food prices have gone overboard, and now fuel crisis again to add to it. So it's not a very
so I always say this, and I think about it every time. How do Nigerians do it? How do we do it? We're one of the most resilient people in the world, because the things that hit us on a daily basis, I don't think any other country can, any citizen of other countries can take half of it. So if it's not food crisis, it's fuel crisis. If it's not fuel crisis, it's child mortality. If it's not child mortality, it's bad healthcare. If it's not bad healthcare, it's bad roads. We are always, there's something we are fighting every time. Every time. Do you understand? So how we're going to do it, how we're going to survive and get out of this, this quagmire, God knows. Do you understand? I just hope we make the right decision in 2023, honestly. Because we've been pushed to the wall. Rice prices now, I priced rice the other day, 45,000 per bag.
That one is a local rice. It's not a foreign rice.
45,000
because the foreign one is over 50K.
Do you know what that means? Some people struggle to even eat once a day right now as it is.
It's a sad story, and we're hoping that the federal court will resolve. Although, Ipman president, in one interview I watched, has come out to say that, okay, there's enough fuel to go around, that people should not panic buy, and all of those things. You're telling them not to panic buy anything. But there's a scarcity, there's a deficiency somewhere, and people are becoming worried.
There's no supply, right? But if there's supply, there's enough supply, that you won't see people having...
Of course. This is a daily need for most Nigerians, because we don't drive cars that are electronic in Nigeria. We drive fuel-driven cars, not only cars, fuel generators all over. Because of the bad power supply that we have in the country, almost every home has a generator, and it is being powered by either fuel or diesel. Diesel, we don't even want to go there because of the price of diesel these days.
Or kerosene. For the average man that uses kerosene,
I heard that
how much it is for people to buy
I heard that a liter of kerosene is now over 1,000 naira in some places.
So imagine.
And this is something that...
for low-income households, how do they survive?
It's really a troubling statistics out there. So the federal government should really wade into this matter and try to ease the pain in the hearts of many Nigerians at the moment, because, it's not going to be very funny adding to all the problems that people are facing around the country.
True.
All right, other stories here, and I'd like to also talk a bit about this security alerts in the federal government in Abuja that was given by the US. So what do you think about that story?
Okay, so I saw that story, and saying that the FG is deploring. They said they
deploy security alert by foreign. So they're trying to water it down, like it's
trying to make nothing of it. But the truth is, there's an alert, and the federal government should know that the US did not give an alert to federal government. They give an alert to their citizens living in Nigeria and Abuja.
Based on information they got.
Based on intelligence they got. Do you know? And no matter how small, no matter how the percent, even though the percent is 1%, there's a 1% chance of a terrorist attack happening, or whatever is going to, or if a security threat happening, it is worth to be taken into account.
Yes.
It is worth it, because what's the value of one life for Nigeria? For American people, one life is one too many. One life lost is one too many. So, which is why they put in so much effort in sending that kind of security to their people. Please, guys, stay safe where you are. Avoid gatherings of any kind. Stay indoors, be alert and all. Which is what a sound country should do for their citizens. The FG coming out to water it down, or to make light of it, I can understand. Maybe they don't want to put fear and all that to people. But the truth is, does it make it any less
a threat?
Does it make it any less? No, it doesn't. That's the truth. Okay, let me give you an example. The Owo massacre that happened. Do you think? Okay, just like on the headlines, we saw that Khan is already telling churches to beef up security because of an alert by another foreign government. Do you think if we had that kind of alert, even though there's a 1% chance in Osun for that Ogo massacre. Is it Osun or Ondo? Sorry, Ondo State. I beg your pardon.
Ondo.
Do you think
worshippers would have gone out?
No, at least there will be enough security, first of all. Or at least people will be more alert and monitor movement. If they see any strange thing, they're like, oh, okay, what's going on here? They'll question it. But see what we did. So what happened to our fellow comrades? Lives that were lost. You know, it's sad. So for me, it's a threat. And Abuja people should please take it seriously. Nobody should say, oh, federal government has said it's not so serious. Please take it seriously. If you can avoid gatherings of any kind that are not essential, please do. And
I'm wondering why the federal government is not reacting to this story the way it is expected of them, because Abuja, that seemed to look as if it is very fortified, has been proven in recent time that this is not so fortified. I mean, it was just at the backyard of Aso Rock that they went to break the Kuje prisons and and spent a lot of hours there doing so. And they were not even at any time challenged.
Nobody has been held responsible for that attack till now.
Oh man, that's the most ridiculous part. In Nigeria, a lot of things happen,
nothing,
and nobody. Usually they don't hold anybody responsible. It happens and it happens. And if anybody falls victim, it has happened to you, you just carry yourself and be going. For a government that is actually in office just for a few reasons, a few being that is to protect lives and property.
Exactly.
At this point in time, they're saying that, okay, the lives of certain people or people living in a certain area might be under threat. Is it not something to worry about and act upon? You come out and say, okay, please, we are refuting that kind of information. Those people saying these things don't have the right to put out this kind of information. That there's nothing like that. Abuja is, under control. Where every time they have these matters under control, it still slips off their hands. Look at the Kaduna train attack. My brother, there are countless numbers of examples we can give. I mean, we grew up here. We know all these things. We've seen it time and time again. We cannot trust and hold on to the words of our politicians and leaders coming out to tell us. We have not been able to see them act in that capacity where we can believe in the things they tell us and say, okay, yes, don't worry, you're good to go.
True.
All right.
So add to what you just said. It's amazing that this present government, right? They rode on the chance that they're going to fight security. That's how they came into power.
Yeah.
Security and fight corruption. Those were their major selling points. But look at, let's take security for instance. Because they used, he's a former general, so he will know how to handle security. Nobody said he's not a former general. But in the past 7 years, we've had attacks on attacks. And the most ridiculous thing is nobody has been held responsible. Not one person has lost their job based on insecurity. One person has not lost a job. Not service chief, not police, not the trained guys. Nobody, not the minister nobody has lost their job. It's still status quo. So who are we really, really fooling?
Well, I'm just going to say that for those people living in the city of Abuja and the areas that just stay safe.
Stay safe.
Look around the environment. If you find anything suspicious, please call the authorities and, just keep yourself safe. If it's not necessary for you to go to any worship place or centers, please don't go. Yeah. That's why these days we have churches online all over the places. Yeah. So just for this time, if I were living in Abuja, I will not even attend any church service anymore. Yeah. I just do my church from online until sometime maybe after the elections, because it's for you to be alive before you be able to even say, okay, I have a solution or I want to protect others. So
but if you tell them not to go to church, will you tell their children not to go to school?
Oh yeah, that's so true.
There are places that are unavoidable in this moment. People will go to school, people will go to work. We have the secretariat there, we have civil servants that will go there. It's a place where you have a lot of people.
So true.
Do you understand? So there are a lot of things that you cannot. We have to deal with security. That's the bottom line. You cannot keep hiding that. Oh, I don't want to go to church. Yes. I don't want to go to club. I don't want to go.
Hiding doesn't keep anybody safe.
We need to sort out security from the roots.
Yeah, I sure agree with you. Yeah. All right, we're going to go into our next paper for the day, and that will be Daily Trust newspaper. And on Daily Trust for today, the 26th of October 2022, we have as headlines here, it says, federal government dismisses U.S. security alert, says Nigeria now safer. All right. It's really laughable, but then. All right. Other headlines here. We see sacked APC directors accuse Adamu of withdrawing 3 billion naira from secret accounts. Jonathan seeks legal provisions to protect deputy governors. As a major headline here, it says President, VP, Senate President, Speaker, CJN, governors orders to enjoy pay hike as RMAFC reviews salaries of public political office holders. Labour Kicks says its recipe for crisis. NGF welcomes proposed pay rise. It's economically irresponsible. Experts speaking there. All right, that's the major headline on the Daily Trust newspaper. All right, other headlines here. We see here Boko Haram scores of ISWAP fighters loses 3 in reprisal battle. Fuel scarcity worsens in Lagos as filling stations shut down. And the last headline I'll be taking from the Daily Trust here says Buhari blames climate change as flood kills 612, affects 3.2 million Nigerians. That's a lot of people affected.
I think we should start from there.
Right.
Buhari blames climate change.
Yes.
But his minister says it's God. It's an act of. How did he even put it? That it was God that caused the rain.
The heavy rains.
You know, sometimes when you don't elect the right people into office, you know, there's no way to not affect you. I don't think, and I stand to be corrected, right? I don't know if the Minister of Water Resources has ever handled any crisis that regards flood or understands what it means to have a flood crisis. Because this government has been shameful, has been embarrassing.
Has continually failed Nigerians.
Yes, in the way they have handled critical situations that has to do with life and properties. Yeah. Which is your major mandate. Securing life and properties. For God's sakes, you have 31 states affected by the flood, out of 36 states. And the president, who is the chief security officer of the states, decided that that's when he wants to go for a trip to South Korea. Something that a delegate can go for. No empathy, nothing. You cannot even go and at least,
visit these areas.
Just, I will not say you should go to 31, go to 1 or 2. Sure, optics is very important in government. How do people perceive you? Because they need to know that, you are here for us in our time of need.
It's not about the money too. Just show empathy.
Show care.
I keep saying that they should be human first before they become politicians. I mean, people are dying.
People have lost their loved ones. Imagine we have over 600 lives lost. What is the value of one life? What's the value of one Nigerian life?
It seems to me as if the way people die in this country every day, it has become a normal thing for people to die.
But it is not right. It is not right. The value of one life should mean a lot. Should mean something to us. You can't have over 600 people dying, and it's not a crisis. You've not created a state of emergency on the climate change or environmental management or whatever you need to do to fix that. No. People have lost properties. Their houses submerged. As a matter of fact, the former president,
Goodluck
Jonathan, his house in Otueke was submerged in the same flood. And it's not a problem.
I mean, I've been around his house. If you see the way that house is built, it is built high up, the ground so that it can avoid this kind of situation because it is, believed that in Bayelsa State, Bayelsa is a very low ground and we're close to both the Atlantic Ocean and many of those places. So, yes, when these kind of things come up, most times it must affect Bayelsa State. So his house is built high above ground level. But for it to be submerged, that's to tell you the depth of the water.
The level of the water, it's sad. Honestly, we just hope that because we hear reports that it's going to be receding any moment from now. But let's just hope that things get back to normal. But before then, what are you doing about the IDPs, people that are already displaced? How are you catering for them? What are you doing to show that you care? It's important. And next, in February, you want these people to vote this same government, this same party that's caused pain. Let me bring you back. In COVID, it's still the same government they were hoarding palliatives
that are meant to help people survive that harsh condition that Nigerians were in. Same thing is happening now, though.
As you can see.
It's really sad. It's very, very sad. But we cannot stop talking about this flood disaster because,
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
if you
it's a
see
crisis.
videos
Yeah.
coming out of those areas, you really have
Yeah.
a lot of pity
No,
for these
it's-
people.
it's really
People
sad.
are really in serious conditions out there. And I'm also worried of the aftermath of this time.
Yeah.
What will be there might be serious health crisis out there because people are living in very serious dire condition out there. Children especially.
Yeah.
They are living in open areas where mosquito nets are not available to them. They're just living in
Gonna cause some
classrooms.
health crisis also.
My brother, it's a very terrifying sight when you see videos coming out of these camps.
You know,
and
but the good
areas.
thing, the good thing about Nigerians is, you know, we've seen some Nigerians, some good Nigerians rise up to the occasion and help these people.
Yeah.
Some people are going out of their way.
Even international,
Some people are going out of their way to,
aids.
you know, to offer aid, to offer support, to offer, you know, whatever they can, food, you know, shelter and
Yeah.
all to these people. And I think
That should be the spirit.
yeah, that should be the spirit. We encourage people to, you know, to do that. However you can help, if it's to donate. 500 can go a long way. I heard one lady, in one of the reports recently from Bayelsa saying a bag of pure water now, because of the flooding crisis, is 800 naira.
Sure.
So do you know what the ripple effect of that is?
I mean, and in Bayelsa,
Crime will go up.
it's understandable because Bayelsa is now a closed
It's close
state,
to- it's
sort
close
of,
to
because
the-
there's no
yes,
entry point
entry
for them.
point.
All the entry points leading onto
So
Bayelsa is, you know, taken
gone.
over by water.
Exactly.
And so it's
So it's a big problem.
it's a real serious crisis going on there, and the federal government should be more responsive.
They should.
And the Minister of Water Resources, I think it's about time for him to go around and, you know, visit
Do you
some
have
of
to,
these
do
areas.
you have to even say
And we don't need to say this.
That's
A
the
very responsible
problem.
government should already
we
be on
don't
the
have
move.
a responsive government. That's a problem.
All right, we're going to go on with the headlines, and this one just caught my attention, and I don't want us to skip it. And that is the story about the president, the VP, the Senate president, speaker, CJN, governors, others to enjoy pay hikes. So they're about to increase their salaries, right? I mean, at this
what's the
time,
minimum wage again? What's the minimum wage again?
30,000 naira. And these guys are already earning so much that at some point there's been calls for them to do some salary cuts to help our economy. And here they are proposing a pay hike. How do you react to that?
You know, it's really sad. There's some things you just, when you see the news, it depresses you.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a few days ago, or was it last week or the week, we saw in news about how the federal government have borrowed more money and our debt profile, something that we borrowed like about 40 trillion naira or something like that we're going to pay off within 40 years. That means your children or your children's
We
children
continue to pay.
to pay for it. And here we have a present government, the people in government that are supposed to look out for us. They're looking out for themselves.
Just them.
Talking about pay hike, instead of talking about reduction in their salaries and their allowances, so that we can cut wastage in governance. All they are doing is think of only themselves. I really don't know how to react to that. I honestly don't know how to react to
It's
that.
a troubling news,
Honestly.
I must tell you.
Yes,
In fact, the moment I saw that
that
headline, I was like, what in the world is going on
I love
here?
that.
Like, how do we come to a place where there is so much happening in the land, and then some people are thinking about just themselves?
They're caught up from the reality, and that's the sad truth. I think our elites, the people in government, from the National Assembly to our presidency and the other likes, I really think that they are cut off from the present reality. They don't know the amount of suffering that's going on out there.
They don't.
Even though you're earning 200k now, it means nothing.
It means, my brother, it can't handle.
Is that bad?
If you like.
But some years ago, 200k, they will call you a big boy.
Yeah.
But 200k now,
Let me remind you, that 200k is flight money to Abuja back to and fro. Sorry. Your
see?
salary is over.
I mean, if you have family in Lagos
And you have to go to Abuja.
and you have to go, or you work in Abuja and you have to go to Lagos, you have to think of going through road.
The road
Or
to
train.
currently
That's-
the
you're
roads
not
are
sure
not.
of.
Yeah, the roads. The water has cut off
Thank
the road,
you.
so you don't even have a clear path to go to Lagos anymore.
it's quite
So
sad.
you see the kind of tight, dire condition Nigerians are trying to keep up.
It's quite sad, honestly. God,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
It's unfortunate.
We're tired of calling it God help us, because the truth is these things are not. It's
not spiritual.
It's not spiritual. It's deliberate to keep us in chains. But I hope that we all see what's happening
and then
do the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
what I mean.
When the general elections come, this is the best time to change the current situation. We all shout about this thing. It's not the first time we're talking about these things. So people have come to talk about this matter. They prefer solution, different kinds of solution. The confab in Goodluck Jonathan's time. There are many things that, you know, administrations and people, well-meaning people have done to try to see us through this kind of crazy situations that Nigerians find themselves. But unfortunately, implementation has always been our problem.
We don't know how to take action.
We never.
We don't know.
Never.
We know how to talk. We have not, you know, gloss over shiny words. Do you understand? Oh, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to fix the economy. This is how we're going to do this and do that. But when it gets to time of action,
everybody leaves it there.
Okay, electricity. This government 7 years ago, they said they were going to give us this 7,000 watts of electricity within 5 years or within 7 years. But where are we now? Every day, national grid is collapses. Every day.
Every day collapses.
Yes. I don't think this government fulfilled one of their agendas.
I sure agree.
I don't think they fulfilled
At least
one.
me, I didn't see anyone. They should come and show me
Exactly.
from when they got into office till now, what exactly in their manifesto that they said they would do that they were able to achieve
it's
in 8 years.
It's sad.
Very unfortunate. But then Nigerians are the ones feeling the brunt, the pain and everything. So that's the very discomforting part of the story. But then, well, we'll keeping up until we get it right.
We just hope we'll be fine.
All right, we're going to move on with our newspaper headlines. We're going to take our last paper for today, but that will be after the short break. When we come back, we're going to go into Nigerian Tribune as our last paper for the day. So you stay tuned. Hold on. We'll be right back. Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
I get there.
All right, welcome back from that short break. We're still on the newspaper review here on Tab TV, and I want to thank you so much for staying with us up to this time. We've been doing the headlines from other papers, and we're going to continue that on the Nigerian Tribune for today, the 26th of October, 2022. And I'm still here with Mr. Bright. I hope you're having fun.
Thank you, Billy. I'm enjoying this.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, we'll go to the Nigerian Tribune, and we'll start with the story here. It says, Kogi Imo Bayelsa governorship elections to hold November 2023. All right, and then we also see oil theft. Rogue ships turn off identification service to avoid detection. MPA MD speaking there, and you'll find details of that story on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving downwards, the Nigerian Tribune here, we see 43% Nigerian. Meghan Markle reveals that, well, if you don't know who Meghan Markle is, she is the Duchess of Cambridge. Yes, that's the wife to one of the princes of England. So go and find out how she is a Nigerian on page 10 of the Nigerian Tribune. We also see there another news concerning the UK. It says Sunak meets King Charles III, assumes office as UK Prime Minister. Still on page 10, that's where we find details of that story. All right, we'll move downwards to the main headline on the Nigerian Tribune. It says, Court nullifies APC primaries in Rivers State. That story is on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, I'll take this one more. It says, Atiku visits Atiku visits flood victims in Bayelsa. Promises to complete Dasin Hausa Dam to manage release of excess water from Lago Dam. Urges federal government to establish temporary fund for farmers. Pledges 50 million naira to victims. You find that detail on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. So do well to read up the details of all of that story here on the Nigerian Tribune. All right, Mr. Bright, I'm going to come to you. Which of the stories would you like to start from?
Okay, I think I'd like to start from the Sunak one, meeting
King Charles III.
Yeah, King Charles III. You know, for me, that's very, very instructive, right? Because we see governments that we admire, we see other nations that we admire do things, and look at, for instance, the Prime Minister is of Hindu descent. Do you understand? He's an Indian man.
Yeah.
He's from Indian descent, right? But he has rose up to become the Prime Minister, you know, after all the work he has done, both in government and private sector, all right? And now he's a prime minister of UK. Let's come back to Nigeria. For you to be a whoever you want to be, people will start dissecting where you're from. He's not my brother. He's not from the north. He's not from the east. He's not from the west.
He's not a Christian.
I cannot vote for him.
I cannot vote for him.
Whereas you're leaving the core thing you're supposed to be looking at. Can he do the job?
Yeah, competence.
Does he have character? Can he do that job? Is he competent enough to deliver on what he says he will deliver? Look at Liz Truss. Liz Truss said she's resigning after 42 days. How many days?
Yeah.
After a few days,
she said she can't handle it.
That is
people that are really in office to serve. So when they see that, oh man, I cannot really deliver service, they step aside for capable hands because they have the interest of the collective. They have the interest of the people at heart.
Thank you very much.
It's not about themselves, but unfortunately in Africa
we find ourselves.
It is always about me. And you can see that in the way the country is on fire.
Yeah.
Yet some people are looking at increasing the pay they earn.
Their salaries.
And they are not doing badly. In fact, most of them, they have decided to make the National Assembly as their family.
Their retirement home.
I mean, look at the Senate president. Remember that he was dragging, he vied for the primaries to run for presidency.
Yes, in Yobe.
And then when he lost, he had already forfeited, the seat of Senate for this 2023 general election.
Yeah.
And then another person won the primary ticket to run for that position from the same constituency with him. So he ran and failed and then went back and said, young man, live here. This is my inheritance. I mean,
it's not possible.
Who does that?
I'm just happy that INEC had to uphold the...
The court had to help the young man and say, guy, if you're not going to relinquish it to him, then we are not going to let him take it from you.
Exactly.
So for once, at least, somebody stood up and said, okay, it's not your family property.
Exactly.
You can just go ahead and face other things.
And it's not like you won the primaries. If you had won, it's a different thing.
You were not even, that primaries was not even, you were not inclusive of it. So, that tells you that our leaders, I don't know if they actually struggle so hard to get into these offices for this sake of service or for something else.
It's a personal reason.
Of course, clearly. Most of them even go ahead to say that, politics is about personal interests. It has nothing to do with the interests of these, It's just clear that from their actions, it shows all of that. All right, let's go to other stories. There's a story of Atiku has also visited the flood victims, and this time around, he came into Bayelsa. How do you react to that story?
Okay, so for me, like I said, whatever we can do for the flood victims is commendable.
Yeah.
I don't want to put sentiments into it's doing it because of election.
No.
Even though it's for election.
Yeah.
Obi has gone. But at least Obi gave a clarion call when he started, saying that he calls on all the presidential candidates to
suspend their campaigns and come out.
So, and it was a welcome development, right? At least we've seen the candidate from PDP, who is Atiku, and done that.
Even the APC responded.
We've seen Obi in 3 states in the same day. We can see traction. They're donating what they can to help the guys. APC, we've not seen the presidential candidate went to Kano, but Kano was flooded.
He sent 100 million to Kano, so we don't know.
Was Kano flooded? Do you understand?
Yeah, very good question.
Because that's his what do you call it now?
Donation.
That visit, it was political because he went to meet APC stakeholders, as confirmed by Bashir, who is the aide of Buhari and in the media team of the campaign council.
Well, he has been pushing this story of he donating 100 million to Kano. I mean, is it? I mean, we have Kogi, more than 80% of Kogi submerged. Like
Bayelsa. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So for me, the optics are not right.
Yeah.
However, his wife and the wife of Shetima, that's Remy, and I think Shetima's wife, they went to Benue to visit, the flood victims, and I think donated about 20 million. So that's also commendable.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
For me, it's the humans come first. People come first. Let's leave politics aside. If there's a crisis, people should go we should be able to rally around them and see how we can support.
At least that's the only way you can safeguard the people that are going to come and vote for you.
Exactly.
If they die in all of this crisis, even right now as we speak, a lot of people have lost. I keep saying they have lost their PVCs. They don't have it anymore.
Exactly.
So we need to first be human before anything else. All right, moving on. Just this last story. I wanted to ignore it, but it says court nullifies APC primaries in Rivers State. So it's our state here, and the APC of Rivers State is up on the news again. The last election, they were not there in the ballot.
Yeah.
If this, court judgment stands, they will not be on the ballot papers again.
For 2 elections in a row.
Oh,
that should count for something. I mean, I don't know how to put it, but some people are saying that it probably might be a sabotage. Somewhere. It could be within the party, within the state party executives or whoever. Because how do you explain that for 2 elections in a row you don't have a candidate because of technical reasons?
And they say
that's avoidable.
Yeah, and that's what they're holding up to at the court. Though they're saying that the court does not have the right to nullify their primaries because it's an internal crisis that they can resolve by themselves. So it doesn't need to be dragged to the court. But then, aggrieved members are taking you to the court, and judgment has been passed in their favor. And that judgment is beginning to jeopardize your chances of being at the ballot. So it is something to be worried about. And how come, like you rightly asked, how come is it that every election this kind of thing raises up? I mean, it tells a lot about what is going on in the APC of Rivers State, and they need to really change their approach.
As much as PDP, for instance, in Rivers State, have their own internal issues with the federal level, right? You cannot see that kind of disunity or this disjointment in the state party, in the state activities. Do you understand? I don't. Maybe ABC should learn a thing or two from them. Yeah. I don't want to believe that it's something that was done deliberately. But if it's not deliberate, then that means somebody is naive or something is not right. Yeah. Something's not right. For 2 elections in a row, you will not provide the candidates for a major party in the country. And
this is not even the time to be having this kind of matter.
We are just 4 months or 3 months to the election.
The election starts in January.
In February.
So in February.
Yes.
So and by this time, you don't need this. This is the time you were supposed to be pushing out your party. And the other day, I heard the governor making jest of other political parties when he was asking the questions of where are their posters. That doesn't seem to see any other poster in Rivers State. That is just the PDP, and that's because they have not been very relevant down here, that the PDP rules. So in other
but in all fairness, there are other parties also vying for the governorship election. So let's not just focus on PDP and the ACC. We have the YPP, I think.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
We have SDP.
Yeah, Dumo is a code though.
Is Duma a
party? Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I know we have YPP, we have AD, we have a Accord party. Yeah. We have the SDPs. Do you understand? Let's see how it goes.
SDP being Magnus Ape and all of that. These are the people that are going to vie.
It's going to be interesting. I would love to see how the whole Rivers State, what they call it now, governorship election pans out. The election, the campaign.
But the governor has already said that there's no election, that is PDP that will stroll into the government house. So we are hoping to see how that plays out.
Well, the truth about it is elections in Nigeria is unpredictable. Yeah. If you remember, is it second term of the Wike's second term? When APC was nullified, they had to bring another party. Is it AAC?
Yeah, AA.
Actually, one guy that gave Wiki a run for his money.
Very true.
It was shocking. It was
because the APC actually gave him the full backing.
Thank you. Nobody saw that coming. Yeah. Even a month to that election.
Very true.
But it happened. Yeah. Right in our eyes. So anything can still happen.
Yeah, we're going to call it quit today, because if we go on, we're not going to leave this place. The stories are many, and would love you, our viewers, to drop your comments and your reactions. Please react to the stories. We want to know what you think about them. But for today, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Bright.
Thank you so much
for making it to the program.
Thank you, Williams.
And to our viewers, we want to thank you for staying with us up to this time. Yeah, we've taken a lot of time today, but well, it's just for us to properly dissect the stories to everybody's understanding. Thank you. And until next time, I come your way again. My name is William Sabule, and this has been the Newspaper Review on TAF TV.